me a countdown.
60 seconds.
Give me 30. Audio standby. Video.
Standing by for camera 1.
Lighting.
Standing by to ballyhoo.
Audio. Audio. Can someone in the house tell audio to get on headset, please? Lighting.
Yep.
Can you page audio?
30 seconds.
Thank you, 30. Okay, anyone get eyes on the speaker?
I do.
Tell him to get ready to go on stage.
Just a heads up, we're going to go on stage 15. Stand by me.
Stage.
And I will for you to watch.
Close your comms.
Hey, someone calling?
Welcome to the party, audio. Are you ready for mic 1?
15 seconds.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, everyone, stand by.
10 seconds. 10, 9,
Audio, video, lighting, stand by.
7,
Ready.
6,
Ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Omar Colom, the Director of Education for Evolve Technologies. Thank you for tuning in today with the Life Alive series, or the podcast here that we have going on right now. I'm super excited about today's topic. As you can tell, I'm talking really fast. I'm super excited. We're here with some of the NovaStar's best and greatest here. Two gentlemen in particular here to talk about the MX40 Pro, which I'm super excited to talk about in general. This is the kind of newest and latest, greatest cutting edge thing that we have on-house at the Evolve Technology building. But we got to speak to Nova for a few months about this. Got some behind the scenes stuff, got to work with them at Infocom a little bit and got to talk to them. And now we have two of their specialists here with us, their technical specialists, to really dive into things. So again, I don't want to do all the talking. I want to let the guys who know the product much better than I do. I got to play with it, I got some hands-on with it. You guys are welcome to come to one of our AV labs and do the same thing. We do have these here for rental as well, but I want to get the guys who really do this stuff. And first I'll bring in Justice real quick to kind of give you a little background of who he is and what he does for the company. Really good guy, really knowledgeable. We got to talk a little bit before behind the scenes, and I'm super excited for you guys to meet him as well. And we have a great PowerPoint to show you guys to kind of really dive into this, as well as a Q&A at the very end of this to dive in with some of the other team support here. So real quick, again, I'm talking too much like always, so I want to bring in Justice here real quick. Justice, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Thanks for introducing me, Omar. Yeah, I'm Justice. I'm with the North American branch of NovaStar. I'm here at the office today. Very excited to show off the product.
Now, we're glad to have you here, Justice, as always. So real quick, tell me a little bit more about what you do with the company as far as your role goes and what we're going to be talking about today with you in particular.
Yeah, I'm a technical support engineer, so a lot of the job ends up being taking calls. I'm not sure if anybody in the chat here has spoken to me yet, but a lot of times if you call the North American office, I'm here giving help and helping people out with doing remote assistance for doing the configurations on Nova LCT or with any issues regarding any products on the job. I assist a lot of people on tight deadlines with making sure they can get everything done right, any issues that are coming up, stuff like that. So just a lot of the actual remote troubleshooting here.
No, I love that. So you're the go-to guy for this stuff, right? If we call in our region, we're gonna ask for Justice here. So awesome to have you on. I really appreciate you being with us. I'm really excited about this PowerPoint. Obviously, we've gone through it a couple times. This is a phenomenal PowerPoint. It goes over a lot of good details with a lot of things. And when we're done with this, we have the next great speaker here, which is going to be Gilbert as well. Gilbert is another technical support specialist who is really phenomenal at what he does and has tons of great insights for the live and Q&A side. So, Gilbert, I want to bring you in real quick and introduce you to the community here.
Hi, Omar. Thank you. I'm Gilbert from NovaStar, one of the technicians from North America team. Yeah, so I'm very happy to have this opportunity to talk the customers about MX40 Pro, these products, new products, and we will have a great time of this live chat.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And just so everybody knows who's watching here today, if you guys are tuning in, obviously, and you're watching with us, go ahead and make sure to put your comments down there as you have them. We will bring up your questions live, and this is a live Q&A session. So please, by all means, ask your questions. This is the moment to do it. We have two of the greatest here with NovaStar to talk to us about the technical support team. So bring them out. We have the time here. We have 60 minutes with you guys. They're here with us. You're here with us. So ask your questions. This is the time to do it. After this, will be recording, and you'll get, it is what it is type of scenario. But this is definitely the moment to do that. We've been planning this for months now, and I'm really excited to have this going. So again, I'm doing a lot of the talking here. I don't want to talk too much. Justice, I want you to go into this PowerPoint a little bit here, and I'm going to bring this up on slide 1. And tell me a little bit about, or actually, you know what? Let's just dive into this, man. I'll let you take over it and do your thing. How about that?
Sounds great. Thank you, Omar. Okay, so like Omar said, yeah, I'm Justice. I'm from NovaStar. I'm very excited to share with you the brand new MX series solution, and I hope it's going to unleash more creativity for your LED projects. The solution consists of 3 parts. One is our brand new VMP software. It's a platform that's very different from Nova LCT, which I'm sure a lot of the customers are very familiar with. The other 2 core technologies that we're going to be sharing are especially designed for the fast-growing fine pitch display market. So 3 highlights that we want to look at for our control systems are going to be demonstrated in the upcoming slides. So let's check them out. So first things first, VMP, which is short for Vision Management Platform. The reason why we developed VMP is that we received a lot of feedback from our customers over the years about how limited and unfriendly Nova LC can be. So we've said to ourselves that we've got to change that, and now we have here the VMP. It really allows users to talk to the screen and unleash more creativity with their projects. So let's watch a short video regarding this. So this is a new solution. It's available on multiple operating systems, including Windows, Mac, and Linux. The entire user interface has been rebuilt with a much more modern, user-friendly layout, completely different from Nova LCT. And let's look at how it looks in detail. So here we have the main interface. On the left is the sidebar, which is the devices list. It shows all the connected controllers and allows you to do a quick group setting to easily navigate, easily group the controllers. On the top is Navigator, where you can find the general workflow for screen configuration. On the right is the Properties bar, where all adjustable parameters are listed. And in the middle here is the operation canvas. So let's dive into these parts one by one. So I'm sure you're very familiar with the scene, a ultra-large screen with multiple controllers cascaded, cable wiring unclear, project timeline very tight. With a traditional system, you can only drag a wired Ethernet cable all the way before the screen and configure the controllers one by one, which kind of holds you back, and it takes long to configure the whole screen. But now with our new solution, you can simply move around wirelessly as long as all controllers are put under the same local network. In addition, you can do group management here, the way controllers can be managed in groups according to physical screens. So it's just a lot more efficient. Next slide, please.
I just want to jump in real quick, and I want to go back here for a second. I'm going to take this off just for 1 minute. And I want to go back to, we were talking about the PowerPoint here. I'm going to go here real quick because I advanced that was my apologies. I am the PowerPoint. And I advanced a little too quickly here. So I wanted to one more time go through this. I know you want to talk about this, and it wasn't advancing correctly, and I think I skipped it. So this is where we wanted to go off on, right?
Sure. Yeah, we can go back. We can go back to here. Yeah.
Yep. So let me come right. We were here.
Okay.
Yep. And then we came here. Sorry, I'll let you take it over from here. I apologize for that.
Okay. No problem. Let's see. So we've got group management.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
Okay. No, there you go. So before screen configuration, we still have some work to do. Here's step 1 for input. We need a media source as a reference for configuration. In the past, we'd have to calculate the coordination or check the screen in the front. Okay, sorry, yeah, you've got this. Actually, can we skip past I already kind of addressed each of the different UI features, so we can go to where we were at. Yeah, here we go. We just went through the group management. There we go. So just go a little bit. That's just the canvas here. So this is where the main design is. Okay. So continue from where I'm at right now. Before screen configuration, we still have some work to do. So this is step 1 for the input. We need a media source as a reference for configuration. In the past, we would have to calculate the coordinates or check the screen in the front. However, with the new software, you can get the input source on the display in real time and fit the contents to the screen easily. Also with source preview and source switch, you can monitor the status of the input sources and switch between different sources easily. And then, Omar, can we go to the spot that has the, yeah, there we go. That's fine. In any case you don't have a proper input source on site, you can directly use the built-in templates for convenience, or you can store multiple test pictures on your own through this function. Even without an external source, LED screen mapping is still possible with VMP. This page. Okay. Yeah, and then if we can go to the internal source page here. And to the mapping screen, the layout screen. So yeah, go through here. So next. There we go. Thank you, Omar. Okay, so step 1 is done. Now step 2 is screen mapping. In VMP, we have prepared the quick screen mapping for everyone. And how does this work? It's a little demo video showing how it works here. It's a lot easier than it is for Nova LCT. You don't have to worry when you get some mapping wrong, because here we provide you with 16 possible patterns for quick correction. You can directly control the wiring without mapping the whole screen again. Also, you can check the cabinet info here. And with special shape screens, no more headaches for us. On Nova LCT, you need to do math and see if the outer rectangle frame is within the loading capacity. But now you're free to do it the way you want. The rectangle limitation is now broken down. So this way, the load utilization rate of each port is greatly lifted, and the loading status is directly shown below, making screen configuration a lot more efficient. Go to the next slide. After mapping, step 3 is screen correction. For example, seam correction. Now we're able to locate the adjusted area on the display visually, and on the software we can directly place the mouse on the scroll wheel icon and wheel up and down to adjust the brightness. Visualized settings also apply to multi-batch correction as well. So far, we're done with almost 80% of the screen configuration. However, for many applications like TV studios, color adjustment is necessary. Therefore, there comes step 4, the key feature, and the color controls on the screen. So, slide. Here you can find the most popular tools on the market, like color replacement, 14-channel color correction, 3D LUT, and we will go deeper in just a little bit here. So finally, step 5, output management. In order to make sure that the output signal is stable on the LED screen and works correctly with other devices, some new features are here to help, like gen lock, low latency, shutter fit, frame multiplexing, bit depth, and so on. And next slide. Besides, we also upgraded the maintenance and monitoring feature. Here you can see the contents on your LED screen directly in the software. You can also get end-to-end health status monitoring of your LED display in real time. Firmware upgrade can be done in batches and by the Painter tool. So that's the summary of the new software, VMP, designed for multiple operating systems with intuitive user interface. Many helpful features are available, such as group settings, source preview, seam correction, perceptual color control, and output management. Okay, and it looks like we have a couple of questions. Do you want to address the questions? Okay.
Yep, so I'll bring those up right now. Sorry about that, guys. I'm the PowerPoint operator, so if you guys were not liking it, that was my fault. Justice, you did a phenomenal job. Thank you for that PowerPoint. Like I told you guys, the PowerPoint was really, really cool. It had a lot of information, deep packed information in there. I did not do it justice. I apologize for that. I apologize. I didn't do it justice to you, Justice. So we got 2 questions that popped up real quick, and I'll bring them here. One is from Robert Husky, and Robert Husky has print export capabilities on mapping to path to tech on site.
Capabilities on mapping to pass to text on site. Let's bring in Gilbert for this question as well. I think it'd be good to have him around for a lot of the technical questions.
Coming in, Gilbert. So Robert Husky asks, print/export capabilities on mapping to path to tech on site.
Currently, it's not supported. This function is supported in Smart LCT. I know a lot of customers asking for this feature. Actually, we're working on that. Well, it will be supported by next version software.
I like it. So Husky asked a great question. The guys, they hear you, they're receiving that feedback from you guys in the community, and they're working on it right now. So if you still want to use that functionality, Smart LCT is still the route to go, but BMP will have it coming soon down the road. Is there any expected ETA for that?
No, there's
That's
no
okay.
estimated time, but I think it's probably end of this year. They will work out a new software which can support to export the mapping information and pass to the on-site technician guys doing the cable wiring, power supply cable changes or other things. Yeah.
I like it. So
I
possibly
already heard a lot
end
of
of quarter
requirements
4.
like this before, so we're working on that.
Got it. I love it. Thank you for that answer. Next one we got coming in was from Tom Eric. I can't say the last part. I apologize. I wish I was a better person. Tom Eric says, can you map the different screen directly to the different controllers as long as they're on the same LAN? I'll leave that open to either one of you guys.
Yes, but for the VMP software, the new software only support MX40 Pro for now. So for the old processors, it cannot support it in VMP software. But if you have the multiple different MX40 Pro connected in same LAN, same local network, and you can map different screens together. Just as just mentioned in the presentation, we have the group management feature in VMP software, and you can do the mapping together.
Yeah, and that controller, the compatibility with VMP, that's going to apply to the entire coax series as well, right, Gilbert? I want to verify that with you as well, but yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I like it. So another question we got here was from Corey Idas, and he asks, what is the highest frame rate that the MX40 supports?
240 hertz.
240 hertz. Awesome. Okay.
Yes.
I like it. I got another one here from Robert Husky. He's asking again, soon we can do a screenshot until it is available.
Yes, that also works.
That's a solution for now, right? That'll work out either way.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I think at the moment we are done with questions. I'm going to hide this one again and double check here. Yeah, so it seems like at the moment between Facebook and YouTube, we have asked all the questions. So I thank you guys for coming and asking us these questions. We've been on for about 20 minutes right now. We still got another 30 minutes to go here. So I want to dive into the PowerPoint a little bit. And I want to bring up some slides we talked about a little bit earlier that I know I didn't do very well at, but I wanted to dive into a couple little things here. I liked where we were going with the sources. So I'm going to bring this up and have us here at the same time. I just want to ask you our questions. I'm going to try to put myself out a little bit and think of when I first came in the industry and things that I would want to talk about when I first saw these things, right? So I'm going to go ahead and bring up that slide here, and we'll be on the three of us on the side here. We'll go to here. Sorry, we'll do like this. Yep. So when we were talking here, right here, source preview, source switching. If I was a complete newbie though, what does source preview mean, and what is the difference between that and source switching? Can you explain that a little bit to me?
Yes, for the source preview, that means you can see on the canvas, it is live, real-time, your video source. So that kind of can use for preview. If there's anything problem happens on your video source, you can see it directly. So this is for the preview. And for the source switch, right-click on the canvas, and you can change to a different video source to do the preview or to switch in the video source for your LD screen.
I like that. That's a very good explanation, actually, and it solves a lot of questions here. So I have another one I want to bring up real quick. And when we were talking about, sorry, I went a little too far ahead here. We were talking about, let me see if I can find this real quick. We were over here. Sorry. So we're talking about here built-in sources. What you see is what you get. Can we talk a little bit about these sources we have in here? So as a built-in source, we're talking about these are internal to the machine before it's either an HDMI or SDI plug-in on the MX40. Is that correct?
Yes.
And can we do a little? Can you explain to me a little bit of what these options are? So we have the first one, which is these pencils here. The second one is the colors, and then you have some gradients, and then you have at the bottom here with the arrows these pixels or lines that kind of move around the LED wall. Can you explain why those are important to use when you're setting up an LED wall, and which one has a benefit for which moment?
Yes. So first, for the pixel image, this is used to map your screen if there is no correct or proper video source connected to the MX40 Pro. Because sometimes, let's say you got a 4K screen, but you only have the 1080p source connected to the MX40 Pro. So there were some of the panel is black in your LD screen. In this condition, we cannot do the mapping for the LD screen. We have to fit it a 4K resolution source to the MX40 Pro so that you can see all of the panels and do the mapping. In this condition, you do not need to get a 4K source or computers. You can just enable an internal source, and so that it can automatically fit it to your whole screen. And you can do the mapping without the source connected. So this is the main application for the internal source. Yeah, as I know, for some rental business, the video guy and the LED guy are different groups. So first, probably two days early before the rental starts, and they set up the screens and they do the mappings. After that, the video guy comes in and fit in the source. So for the LED guy, sometimes they do not have the correct or proper video source connected to the MX40 Pro. So they can use the internal source to do the mapping. And also for the red, gray, blue, and the slash, verticalize, horizontalize, those are test patterns which can use for testing whether you configure the screen well or not.
That was fantastic, and that definitely explains a lot here what's going on. I love these personally myself, especially when we're on a show site. I try to put on the moving pixels because it helps me find dead pixels very quickly. So for me, these are very great. And as far as the colors go, it's another way to really quickly just determine whether the pixel is fully dead or just a certain color spectrum is dead on that. So I love this a lot myself internally. Your explanation was very great, very technical, which I love the most. I had another question that came in here, which is more of a recommendation than a question here, but I'll bring it out anyways from Haynes. Haynes asks we'd love to see a built-in 70% color bar diagonal motion like a Barker Pulse Image Pro generator. Is that something that's possible with MX40 Pro, or is that something that may not be a possibility, but now it is a request, and maybe you guys can put a ticket in? And how can Haynes maybe raise the bar for that for the internal team to take that serious?
That is kind of a requirement. I'll try to talk to our team, see whether they can add this bar into the software. I think we also need to do some investigation for the barcode processors, and I'll definitely talk to our team and let them to evaluate these requirements. Thanks for your suggestion.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and that's awesome. So Haynes, in the near future, you may have what you're asking for, and it's all because of your question live on this show. So I really appreciate that feedback, and that's a great question to ask. I want to keep going down the road here a little bit, and there's another one I saw here real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and advance here a little bit. I'll show the audience kind of where I'm going with this on the layout side. So I know that we're seeing this video here kind of go through the motions. Is there a hotkey version to doing this, or is this just dragging the mouse over and it just auto smarts it all the way around? How does that work on the keyboard and mouse side? I know we're seeing it happen here, but if I was an operator on the job site, how would I do this so that it does that for me?
The data wire is automatically generated. So I think I'll do the demo later, the software demo. You will see how the panel is connected to each other.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So I'll move forward here and I'll keep going. So quick screen mapping. Can we dive into this a little bit more? We were talking about no rectangle limitations. Why is that so important when you guys are talking about no rectangle limitations?
Yes, so for the PowerPoint in these slides, you can see the left is an irregular screen and the right one is a regular screen. They all have 6 panels. But for the traditional solution, if you map the left screen, the irregular screen, it calculates the loading capacity by the outer rectangle. Even there is no panel in the middle, empty part, we will calculate the outer rectangle. But for the new solution, MX40 Pro, work with our Armor series receiving card, there was no rectangle limitation. So the loading capacity is just calculated by the number of the panel connected to the port, which can save a lot of capacity for the ports if the customer wants to drive an irregular screen.
Yeah, it solves a lot of headache too. A lot of people have called who are either unaware of the rectangular rule feature or just had it previously wired in a setup that is just more convenient for them, that doesn't make that rectangular shape. So it really does help with that pixel loading capacity, that the amount of panels you can have on one port, and just allows you to configure the screen or actually install a screen and do those wirings your way and in a way that's more efficient to each port.
So I have another one here real quick. I'm pulling it up. I think I'm one slide away. Multi-batch correction, seam correction. No, I went too far. So we had, hold on, let me get there. This is a feature I feel like is a very pro feature that people seem to forget about or don't do very well, or maybe just don't have the time, but when they do, this really makes a difference. And it was your guys' oh man, I passed it again. It was the seams. Sorry, here it is. I passed it multiple times. So seam correction. Can you guys explain a little bit to me or to someone who doesn't know what that is, what seam correction is and why it's so important to know about it and to utilize it when you're on show site?
Okay, so the seam correction is very important for the rental business or fixed installation, because the LED wall is set it up by the human guys, and it is inevitable there were some dark bright lights happens. The dark light is because the gap between 2 panel or modules is a little bit big, so you can see the dark light between the panel or module, and the bright light is caused by the gap between 2 modules or panels. It's very tight, so you will see the bright lights. If there's dark bright light happens on the LED screen, we can use this feature to eliminate those lights without the camera calibration. Sure, the camera calibration also works to eliminate those the dark bright lights, but it takes some time to finish the whole process of the camera calibration. But with the manually dark bright light adjustment, it is very fast to solve these kind of problems.
100%. And real quick, I just had we had a question come in while we were doing this. So Radium Pictures asks us here in a question. Hey there, total newbie here. I've got one MX40 and another one coming with my LED wall. What are the process for connecting 2 MX40s together to run a big curve? In general terms, is okay too.
So just connected the 2 MX40 Pro to a router, and make sure the control PC connect to that router, the same router at the same time. Make sure they are all in same network segment. So run a VMP software, and you will see both processor show on the left, device list, and so that you can doing the settings for two processors together.
Got it. So Radium, again, I know you said you're a newbie. I know it's very hard sometimes to visualize what we're talking about here, but if you have any more questions or if you need more in-depth, right now it's time to do it. We are live. This is a live Q&A session, so go ahead and ask that question, and we'll dive a little bit deeper. Corey here asks us another question here from the audience. And Corey asks, are there any plans to update the controller to the newer HDMI 2.0 standard?
Yes, this is one of our 8K processor. Actually, it is already displayed in the EvoCom show this year, and which called 680 Pro, which have the HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort 1.4, support 8K by 4K and 60 Hz.
Nice. That's big news right there for a lot of us in the industry. We're all upgrading to that 4K 8K workflow. 2.0 and above is what we're kind of going to. 12 GSTI cables. It's a big push across the board for everybody here. Corey says excellent. He also enjoyed that answer. So I think we're all in agreement here that is the next one to go. Gilbert, I know you've been doing a lot of the answering here. I also know we have a show and tell to do of a demo, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go ahead and start doing that, and we can do that for the audience. We got about 20 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, sure.
So while we get that set up here real quick, I see it coming in right now. Just remember, guys, this is a live Q&A session with Evolve Technologies. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Go and subscribe to us if you want to see more videos like this. We're here with NovaStar, Tech Support Team. These are the two brightest and greatest in the company that are talking to us here live with you guys. So if you have any questions while you're here with us, please let us know. This is, again, live Q&A. I will repeat this for the next 30 to 20 minutes. Live Q&A, so ask your questions because now's the time to do it because you won't have time later on. So I see that just came in here real quick. I'll take this to full screen, and here we are. So Gilbert, I'll let you lead the way.
Okay. So this is the VMP software. I run this software in virtual devices mode. So how do you enable virtual devices? Go to Tools. Here's a virtual device. You can start or stop the virtual devices. There were 8 devices listed on the device list, and 4 of them is 680 Pro, and 4 of them is MX40 Pro. The 680 Pro, what I just mentioned, is our 8K processor, which have the HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, which can support 8K input source. And for the output is the 5 gigabit output. Each port can handle a 2K resolution LED wall. And for the MX40 Pro, it is our new processor. It can be purchased, can be used for, actually already used in a lot of projects already. So next, I'm going to use the MX40 Pro to do the demo to show you guys how to use the software. Because Justice just mentioned in the presentation, there was a lot of new features in the VMP software. Next, I'll show you how to use it in the software. So select one of the processor, and you will see all of the features shows up. So before we develop this software, we actually talked to a lot of customers. What is the best way to do the mapping with it be on site? So they told us the first step is the source. Make sure the source is well connected and they have something display on the LED screen. And the second step is doing the mapping for the LED screen. Make sure the screen shows one whole image. And after that, doing the correction, dark bright light adjustment, or multi-batch adjustment. Sometimes some of the customer may use different batches panel together for a large LED wall. There were some color or brightness differences happens on different batch panels. You can use this feature to eliminate the color differences between 2 batch panels. So after that, under the processing, this is our new features for an advanced applications like XR or virtual production or film shooting. There are a lot of color adjustment features like color placement, 40 color correction, and curve adjustment. 3D LUT is also supported. And we also have a core technology which called dynamic booster, which can improve the image quality in low grayscale part. Because for some high-end application like virtual production, they use the LED wall in a very low brightness or low grayscale. Using the dynamic booster feature can help to improve the image quality under the low grayscale part. And next is screen settings. Under the screen settings, one of the first part is image quality. You can adjust brightness, gamma, color temperature for your LED screen. Some basic features. We also can support advanced features like Magic Gray 22-bit plus, used to improve the grayscale, which can improve the grayscale by 64 times, and precise grayscale, which can use to solve the color cast problems in low grayscale part. And we also have the thermal compensation. You guys may see these kind of problems before, like we just power on the LED wall, there was no problem, everything is perfect, but probably running 30 minutes later, you can see some cyan or bluish, grayish happens on the panels or the modules. This is caused by the temperature. The temperature will change the red, gray, blue effect. So you will see the grayish or bluish happens on modules when you design this feature here, thermal compensation, to solve this problem. And after some image quality adjustment, we also can do some output adjustment as well. You can do the bit depth adjustment, 8-bit, 10-bit, or 12-bit. And we also can set up the synchronous. If you use multiple processors together, you may need to connect the gene log to make sure they can output synchronously. There is no image syncing issue happens on the LED screen. And image offset. This is a kind of new feature used to solve the problems where you have the camera shoot the LED screen. You will see some dark lines, dark scrolling lines, which we call it black field. If you can adjust the phase offset to solve this problem. And also the shutter speed, enable the shutter speed and enter the shutter angle parameters, and the control system will automatically to adjust the driver IC parameters to fit it to your camera parameters and make sure there was no scanning line happens on the LED screen. After all of the settings, you also may want to monitor your LED screen status. So we provide the end-to-end monitoring, so you can check the temperature of your panels and voltage of the panels. And we also add the bit error detection, which can help to identify if there's any communication issue happens between the panels or between the processor and panels. And the last is the presets. You can save the color presets and one click to recall the presets used for different application. Let's say we just save the preset 1 for the film shooting, and you can save the preset 2 for like conference room using. So different presets used for different application, because different application may have different color requirements. For the presets, maximum we can save 50 presets. So you can just one click to recall. Like presets 2 is used for the conference room, and presets 1 is used for the film shooting or virtual production. Next, let's see some details. So for the source, in the bottom is the source list. We have the HDMI, DisplayPort, SDI, and also the internal source. One click one of the source, like for example, I click HDMI here. You can check all of the details on the right property bar. First, it's the source information. You can check the resolution, refresh rate, bit depth, and the color space sampling, all of the detailed information of your video source. This is automatically read back from your video source. And you can also manually to change the resolution, add in management, manually select the presets, the drop-down list, and you can also click custom to manually customize the input source resolution. And also the refresh rate is also changeable. You can select the drop-down list, all of the presets, which can support it started from the 23.98 Hertz to 144 Hertz. And if you want to change the gamut, and also for like the 709 or 2020 or DCI-P3, you can manually change here. And for the MX40 Pro, it also supports HDR. For now, we can support two different formats, HDR10 and HLG. And we also added PQ mode into this new solution. Select different mode for different HDR effect. And the biggest thing in this new MX40 Pro and VMP software is we added flexible way to adjust the color from the input source. For the traditional solution, you can only adjust the red, gray, blue, contrast, saturation, and hue. But in the new software, you can adjust black level, contrast, saturation, and for the red, gray, blue, you can adjust the shadow part and highlights part separately, which is very useful for the high-end virtual production application. They are asking a lot for these features, so we added in our new solution, MX40 Pro and VMP software. And for the layout, it is pretty easy to do the mapping. Just click the port. When you click the port, there will the mapping information display on your LD panel. So you will know where it's in the start, where it's in the end. So just drag the panels, do the mapping. If you do the data wire is wrong, you can just select this part and manually to change different data flow on the right, because we provided 16 most common used data flow here. You can manually just one click to switch different data connection. So this is about the mapping. And for the correction, the biggest difference between the new solution and the traditional solution is when you put the mouse on the canvas, you will see the mouse on the LED screen as well. So it is very easy to select which line you want to adjust. Because for the traditional solution, a lot of customers ask, if there's a very big screen, like hundreds panels, it is very hard to select the lines they want to adjust. But for now, you can see the mouse on the LED screen, which is very easy to select the lines you want to adjust. And when you do an adjustment, there were two different mode, quick adjust and fine adjust. Quick adjustment with the bigger steps, and fine adjust with smaller steps where you do an adjustment. And we also designed multiple different buttons here. The restore is restored to the last adjustment, and the reset is reset to the original. And so with the reset button here, you do not need to, after the dark bright light adjustment or multi-batch adjustment, you do not need to upload the original coefficients again. Just click reset to reset the coefficients effect to the original. And the next one is the processing. I just mentioned it can do the color replacement. One click here, you can select one of the color here and replace to, let's say, change to red and enable it. and you will see the color changed from the gray to the red on the LD screen. We also have some parameters here which can help you to get better effect for the color replacement. And next one is a 40 color correction, which is used for better way to adjust the colors. Let's say a lot of customer asked before. So for the human being faces, it's very easy show more red in the LD screen. So they want to adjust the red part to make sure the human being face it's normal, it's not that red. So they can adjust the 40 color correction here. If you want to adjust the red, there were 3 different parameters: hue, saturation, and brightness can be adjusted. And also white and black. So totally 40 color correction. 12 color is from this circle. Each 30 degree we choose one color. So 360 degree 12 color is selected, which means these 12 colors and plus white and black. And for the curve adjustment, red, gray, blue, and white, 4 different line adjust. For the curve adjustment, normally we just get the high grayscale part higher and low grayscale part lower, so we can get higher contrast of your image. And for the 3D LUT, you can just load the 3D LUT file and enable it, and you will have the 3D LUT effect on LD screen. For our 3D LUT, it is 17 by 17 by 17. This is a precise of the 3D LUT file. And dynamic booster, just one click and adjust the level of the dynamic booster. One thing you need to know is dynamic booster only supported by A10S Pro, our new receiving card. So this is about the processing. And next one is the screen settings. I just mentioned the video source adjustment, bit depth adjustment, and synchronize. We can support active source sync, Genlock synchronize, and the internal source synchronize. And the shutter feed used to solve the scanning light problem, and face offset to solve the black field problem. And we also can support 3D pictures and port load. Just one click here, you can check the port loading capacity, the usage rate of each port. And also for the image quality, brightness, gamma, and color temperature adjustment. And you can also change the color gamut here if you do the image booster. And thermal composition to solve the problems caused by the temperature of the panel. And for the monitoring, very easy to check if there's any problem happens on the LED wall. So different stator have different colors. So the green means everything is perfect. And the yellow means there is some error happens on your LED screen. The green means offline. There was some communication issue happens between panels or between the processors. And the last one is the presets. And I want to show how to map 2 MX40 Pro together, because one of the customer asked this feature before. So we have 2 processors together. We recommended you create a group. For example, like virtual production, and you can just select and drag the processor to this group. So you will have one group and 2 processor, and you can map the together. Any question about the VMP software?
We did have a couple of questions pop up in here real quick, and I'll try to go in the order that they came in. I think the first one was from Hans. Sorry, that's a lie. Jared here. Jared asked a question, which I'll take the lead on this one. Jared asked, how many tiles can you fit on each data port? And generally, there's a formula for that. So you take the total amount of the pixel you have. That creates what's called the pixel counts, or the pixel matrix. And you take the pixel matrix divided by the total count of the port capacity. I don't actually know the port capacity by memory. One of you guys know the port capacity by memory? For your
The loading capacity for each port?
Yep.
650,000 pixels.
650,000 pixels. So that divided by whatever the tile you have, total count is, right? That number divided by how many tiles you use will give you the number you need. So for Jared, it's more of a math formula. This will change per tile. So it's not a generic answer across the board. There's a formula for this. If you want to learn more about that formula, read the manual that they have. It's in there, or come to our classes one time. We teach you that more in depth. But essentially, it's dependent on the the tile that you're using. Is depending on how many ports you can use on that, not the other way around. But good question, so thank you for bringing that up here. Another one was from Hans here, and I'll leave this one to you guys. Are there any horizontal or vertical limitations on the input selection?
Yes, for the input source like HDMI 2.0, the maximum input, both the width and the height, can up to 7680.
Boom, I like that. Another one we got it from Tom here is saying, how far down the line will the new software support previous controllers? Example, the H series and the UHD series.
For the VMP software, it's only support coax series products. Right now, we have MX40 Pro and KU20. KU20 is a 2K level processor. And the MX40 Pro is the 4K, and we will release our 8K level processor CX80 Pro.
Nice. And we got a couple more real quick, guys. We just hit our 60-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap this up with two more questions that are coming in. But another one that was asked here was from Lee Yang, is asking, which receiving cards can work with the MX40 Pro? And I got one more right after that.
The whole series, Armor series receiving card can work with MX40 Pro. If you use A4, A5, A8, A7, A10, they all work with MX40 Pro.
And last one I got here from Haynes again is 650,000. Is that on 60 hertz, 8-bit, 444? Correct or not?
Yes, correct.
Yes. Boom. So that is the last one we have coming in today. In the virtual, sorry, Robert snuck in here real quick. I was trying to take it away and he popped right up. So last one here real quick. In the virtual devices, can you change the tiles to match what you will be using out on the field?
Currently, it's not supported, but we will work out the new software will support the offline mode. After release this version software, you can customize the panel resolution.
I like it. So real quick, Gilbert, you've had a lot of talk time with us. Do you have any final words to the audience you want to say before we let you go for the day?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Did you have any final words you wanted to say to people before we let you go for the day?
Yeah, I think, it's very good. If you guys have any other questions, you can directly email us, support@novastar.tech, or contact Involve. We work together. So if you have any good suggestions, feedback us as well. And we will talk to our audit team and try our best to meet you guys' needs.
I like it, Gilbert. Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to see you. Justice, I'll leave it for you as well next. You're the last one, right? First one in, last one out. Any final words you have for the audience?
I mean, just thank you all for being able to see the demo and see our presentation, get that information on the MX40. A lot of very innovative, very asked for features with both the MP and the MX40 series. So thank you for seeing that info, and thank you for attending the live stream.
Justice, and thank you for being here so much. And again, from me to you, I apologize. I did not do justice to the PowerPoint,
It's no
man.
problem.
I'm really, really sorry about that, but I'm glad we recovered and we made it go well. It was an amazing PowerPoint.
We got
Talk
the
about
main
it more.
details of that.
For sure. And Corey, last one today is give us a round of applause. So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for tuning in. And again, thank you to Evolve Technologies for hosting this and getting this all working out. Thank you for NovaStar for being a part of this and for supporting us and us supporting them and getting these people involved with us. This was a great time to talk to you guys. I thank you for all the questions and the feedback you guys down in the comments and the chats. Listen, we're going to follow this tomorrow for the next 24 hours. So if you have any more questions, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put those down there. We'll forward this to the support team and we'll keep in touch with you guys as much as we can. Again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate everything so much. Again, my name is Omar Cohen, Director of Education at Evolve Technologies. Thank you for tuning in and I appreciate it. See you guys on the next one.